Hello everybody, welcome back to our 5th episode. It's Codex here, and I thought this episode I'd make kind of as a bonus because I haven't posted in so long. And we're going to start it right off by making a boat. Alright, it's not hard to make itself, it just takes a lot of wood and like some hide, but the important thing is we're going to move it away from the shore a little. We're going to sink the foundations. There's a lot of whales on this map, or leaves, and they destroy boats. So this will just help us out a little. See there, we're going to hide that sail first of all. We just go into the options and go down here to hide sail. Boop, now it's gone. Now, to sink the foundations, we're going to want to try and get the actual foundations themselves to be level with the floor. So to do that, we're going to take one of the pillars. I use wood and thatch to make it easier. And we're going to try and line it up perfectly with this hole. Not just on top of it, but squared up. This is the most important part of the build. If you get this off, then the foundation's going to go down cattywampus, and you're going to have to start all over. So there we go. Nice and square, as you can see. It's perfectly symmetrical with the boat. And we're going to take a foundation, and as you'll see, it clips right into place next to it. Now we can take out this pillar here, and then we're going to put another pillar down inside of the foundation. And if you'll see right there, look at that. The next one goes in a little bit lower. Sometimes you have to fiddle around with it and kind of mess with it some to actually get it. If you hold down Q, sometimes it'll bounce it down into that lowered position. But like, just there. See, I'm pressing Q. There we go. And sometimes you have to catch it on the jump because it'll pop back up. And we'll destroy these. And we will pop down another one. The key for this is to make sure that you put down the next foundation just like that. And then you destroy these other ones before you actually put down another pillar. That's the most important thing. Otherwise it won't work right. I'm not sure why. But that's just the way things are. There we go. And perfect. Alright, you see how the thatch is just kind of poking up through the wood? That's exactly what you want to see. Let me just destroy this real quick. There we go. It's perfect. Now we've actually already done the hard part. From here you just have to put down stone foundations in place of the thatch, and you'll have a working boat with sunken foundations. The key to making this work is you have to make sure that the rudder is slightly poking out and that you can still reach the actual mast driving area. See how it's just poking out there a little? Everything else is perfectly hidden, which means that this boat will survive a couple of hits if it comes across a whale. And the whales only target boats, which makes them a real pain in the butt if you want to survive on any map with water like the center or the island. Now you'll see here we have a pretty small area to work with, but that's not a big deal because you can just add on ceilings. I already did that over here. You don't want to try and use the foundations because they won't actually work. And because I'm cheap and lazy and out of my stone ceilings, we're just going to put down some thatch. And that'll give us a lot more room to work with on our boat. Right now, I'm not going to make it super fancy. I'm more concerned with having a large area I can put dinosaurs on so that I can actually go out and do some stuff. The essentials to have on a boat, if you're going to be traveling, is a fireplace and some chests. If you are playing on multiplayer, you are going to need those enclosed. That can be really rough if it isn't, because people just come down and destroy it all. I actually had some people chase me around on griffins one time and blow my boat up. So, that's not fun. They had trouble getting me because I just kept moving and their grenades kept falling. As you can see here, I've got my army and I've got my trike, my best trike. And we're just going to explore some. The key to using a boat on the center is to stay near the shore because there are whales everywhere. And I'm sure we're going to see one before long, but if you stick close to the shores and you kind of scout out the water before you go anywhere, and then you should be okay. But just make sure to keep several eyes open for those guys, because they are vicious. And even how close I am to the shore right now can leave you open to some attacks. Not by those dumb birds, though. Oh no! Oh no. Oh no. So I got my guys back on board and immediately found this. You see, that's a lead. And that bird's a problem. I whistled them passive, so it's fine. But that huge whale is a lead, and they are a huge problem. More problem than these guys when you have crossbow. Nice. Alright. I'll come show them to you real quick. They aren't dangerous to you if you're just on your own. And if you hit them, you can actually get prime fish meat from them. But they will attack you then. They're very big. And they can be in pretty shallow water, which makes them extra dangerous. I don't think I could kill him, but I might be able to lure him a little. And hopefully give me some room to move. Oh goodness. Oh no. Oh, that's extremely frightening. These things are vicious. And it's about now that I'm thinking about the fact that I forgot to put a bed on my boat. But hopefully I can get his attention enough to move him away. They can move pretty fast in water as well. So these things will destroy you. And there's an alpha version of these, which is white and even more frightening. And they will quite happily see you from basically your maximum view range. That also happened to me once. I was even getting an Alpha Tribe escort, and one of these guys saw me and destroyed everything we had. So they're a real pain. So just try to avoid them and try to prepare for them as best you can. I'd rather not destroy my boat first thing. So we're gonna try and make this work. He got distracted by something and we managed to slip past him, which is nice. And now we're just headed towards the northern jungle island, which, if you see that huge stony island that's directly ahead of us, that's the volcano island. And it's directly across from the northern jungle. So we're just gonna go that way for a while and see what we can find. We found a scorpion. That's okay, I think I might actually manage to knock this guy out. There's some raptors. I think they're going towards my boat. Thirsty. Yeah, they are going towards my boat. Hopefully, yeah, we'll get rid of him. And, oh goodness, there's another one. The mainland's pretty mean. And I'm thinking about that boat again. Boat with no bed. Alrighty, so I managed to get back to my body, and I knocked out the scorpion. He's a 145, and I don't actually have any rotten meat to feed him right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the meat that I have in my bag to start to rot down, and once it gets close to rotting, I'm going to split the stack, and until then, I'm just going to starve tame this guy, which is basically just letting him go hungry. Because the regular meat, it doesn't actually work as well to tame him. So it's just kind of a waste, and it's a huge waste of time. That way, I don't have to worry about keeping meat on him and him slowly taming. He'll just eat a whole bunch of rotten meat once I do finally feed him. So I managed to actually tame that guy up. And now we have one of these guys. You see all the berries in my last inventory? He just stole them. They'll always prefer the item in the last slot of your inventory, especially if it's food. And see, that actually tamed him up some, so I'm going to teach you how to tame these guys real quick. Pegos are really obnoxious when you first start the game, but they actually make pretty cute pets. And they're one of the few creatures you can actually put on your shoulder. Now, when you're taming them typically, they'll run away as soon as they get the items, so you have to try and keep an eye on them and follow them. But right now I have him kind of pinned against my trike. Oh, there goes some more. Yeah, he's gonna tame up in no time. So it's really as easy as that, especially if you make like a little box you could throw him in and just sit in there with them. Or in my case, where I managed to pin him against my dinosaur mount. They're pretty cute and they're fun to have as pets. This one's a 150, so he's Definitely worth me taming. And in just a second, we should have our little lizard cat. Yeah, that's what they are, lizard cats. Oh, there we go. Taming's easy as that. So now we've tamed a scorpion and a pego. Trip to the mainland's going pretty well. I actually got a second one a minute ago. But it's low level, so it tamed up right away and it wasn't on film, so I decided to tame that second one just to show you guys. Now, here on the north side of the island up in the hills, you can find ankylos, like this one here. I've whistled my guy's passive, and I have to be careful because there is a Bronto near me, and I don't want to hit him. But I should be able to tame this guy up. This is a bear cave that I actually used to live in. It goes pretty far back, but only dilos and dodos can fit under here. So it's a pretty good place to, like, keep things and to hide if you're trying to tame something like I am. You can't really reach me. These guys, it's just basically hit them till they go down. The crossbow really helps with getting these guys because they have a lot of armor. And he's gonna hit me. Ow. It's okay. We're fine. It's gonna take just a minute. I also have to kind of be careful and work quickly because there's some Kentros nearby. I'll show you what those look like in a minute, and if they don't like me, it could go south. So we're going to try and get this done as fast as we can and kind of evacuate the area a little bit. Ow. Now, for what they do, they're actually really easy and straightforward tame. With the ankies, they gather metal, they can gather oil from oil nodes. They're really good dinosaurs to have around, and they're actually pretty good for defense as well. But they're very simple, straightforward tame. They're not very fast, so you just shoot them and shove berries in them. It's nice and easy. So while he tames, I wanted to show you this bear cave a little bit. It's actually a pretty good place to put down a base, as long as nobody notices you coming or going. You can't really own dinosaurs if you live in here, because there's nowhere to hide them, but it is actually a fairly good place. It's nice and flat for building. It has a good amount of metal and crystal, and if you position your base right, those spawns won't go away. Your base will take, I think, 4 times damage inside this place, but you can put up a whole bunch of gates at the front where bottlenecks, so it's a fairly good base location, I have to say. Now, if you look over behind me here, right between those 2 trees on the right side of the screen, that's a Kentro. Now, if you're wondering why I showed you that, it's because of this. It kind of got cut out, but it was this huge, long, terrible, terrible massacre. Kentros are awful. Things can get stuck on their spike tails. I just lost almost every single one of my dilos. My entire army got wiped out. I think I have like 3 or 4 left. And it was just a horrible massacre. It was a mess. Because once they spike you on their tail, there's nothing you can really do to stop them or fight them. I barely managed to defeat them as it was, and this is all we have left. But thankfully, the anky survived, and dilos are replaceable, so yeah. But, you know, there's a reason I came out here, and it's actually for a doedicurus and for an anky. And I'm not going to leave empty-handed now that I lost everyone. So this is happening. You can find these guys up in the hills. I'm not really sure why this guy isn't chasing me. But, you know, whatever. Maybe he's stuck on something. Taming them is really easy. You just hit them directly in the head. And if they ball, you can't tame them. So you just have to wait till they unroll again. It's pretty straightforward. And then on my way home, I found this. Now, this little guy's walking right across from where I live. That big island's mine. I wish I'd seen him earlier. But you know what? It's okay. For what we lost, we gained way more valuable dinosaurs. And everything's fine. We made it home. I think I'm probably going to leave it off here on this sad, rainy day that matches everything we've lost. And now we have some pretty good dinosaurs on our side that will help us grow and expand even faster and even better. Ankies and doeds are really, really vital to playing. They're incredibly important. Next episode, I'll go into what they can do a little bit more. But just suffice to say, they are staples of the Ark adventure. And you'll hardly ever find a tribe that doesn't have these guys. And high-level tribes will actually pair these guys up with the Quetzals to make for some crazy farming. I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. We'll be back with episode 6 soon. Things that you missed this episode were a Spino attacking my boat, and my Dilo somehow almost defeating it, which was crazy. Again, I accidentally, didn't manage to record the Kentro attack, which was crazy. I'll get into those guys later because they're just awful. And, yeah, nothing else too interesting. A couple fights with the RGs, which we should be taming at some point, not too distant future. And, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good one.